Imagine a world where writing is no longer something done only by human hands. A world where stories, articles, scripts, and even entire books can be created not in days or weeks, but in seconds. A world where ideas are no longer limited by typing speed, inspiration, or writer's block. Where creativity is no longer a rare human skill, but something shared with machines. This is the world of artificial intelligence writing. And whether we notice it or not, we are already living inside it. Every day, AI systems are quietly learning how to write like humans. Not just grammar, not just vocabulary, but tone, emotion, structure, and even storytelling itself. But how is this possible? How can a machine that does not think, feel, or experience life produce writing that feels so human? To understand this, we must start from the beginning. What does it mean to write? For humans, writing is deeply personal. It begins with thought, then emotion, then memory, then experience. A story is not just a sequence of words. It is a reflection of how a person sees the world. Every sentence carries intention. Every paragraph carries meaning shaped by life itself. But for AI, writing works in a completely different way. It does not begin with emotion. It does not begin with memory. It begins with data. Massive amounts of data. Books, articles, websites, scripts, conversations. Everything humans have written and made available digitally becomes training material. But AI does not read like humans. It does not understand meaning the way we do. Instead, it learns patterns. Patterns of words, patterns of sentences, patterns of structure, patterns of how ideas connect. AI as a prediction system. At its core, AI writing is not based on understanding. It is based on prediction. Given a sequence of words, what is the most likely next word? Then the next, then the next. And this process continues again and again, until a full paragraph is formed, then a full article, then a full story. What looks like writing is actually a chain of statistical predictions. But here is the interesting part. The results can feel extremely human. Why? Because human language itself follows patterns. Stories have structure. Articles have formats. Emotions follow recognizable expressions. AI learns all of this from billions of examples. How AI understands language. In modern AI systems, words are not treated as words. They are converted into tokens. A token is a numerical representation of language. To AI, every word becomes a number. Not meaning in the human sense, but a position in a mathematical space. And in this space, relationships emerge. Words with similar meanings are located closer together. For example, doctor is close to hospital. King is close to queen. Ocean is close to ship. Fire is close to heat. This forms what we can call a semantic map of language. So when AI writes, it is not thinking in sentences. It is navigating this map, moving from one concept to another, one probability to another, one pattern to another, until a complete text is formed. The power of large language models. Modern AI writing systems are built on something called large language models. These models are trained on billions or even trillions of words. During training, they learn something remarkable, not just language, but structure. They learn that stories have beginnings, middles, and endings. Articles have introductions, explanations, and conclusions. Dialogues have turns, responses, and emotional flow. Narratives follow tension and resolution. Even though AI does not understand these concepts emotionally, it becomes extremely good at imitating them. How AI writes a story. Let's take a simple example. If you prompt AI, write a story about a lost astronaut on Mars. The system does not imagine Mars like a human would. Instead, it draws from patterns: science fiction stories, space documentaries, novels, movies, astronaut reports, scientific descriptions. Then it builds a structure, a character, a setting, a conflict, a progression of events, and finally, a resolution, all generated step by step through probability and learned structure. This is why AI stories often feel coherent, because storytelling itself follows patterns. Can AI be creative? This is one of the biggest debates in modern technology. Some argue AI is not creative at all. It only recombines existing data. Others argue that humans also create by recombining experiences, memories, and influences. So, what is the real difference? If a human reads thousands of books, then writes a new story based on everything they learned, is that fundamentally different from AI? There is no simple answer. But one thing is clear: AI can generate new combinations of ideas that have never been written before in exactly the same way, even if those ideas are built from learned patterns. Real-world applications of AI writing. AI writing is no longer theoretical. It is already everywhere. News articles, marketing content, social media captions, product descriptions, video scripts, emails, academic assistance. Journalists use AI to draft reports. Businesses use AI for advertising copy. Students use AI for writing support. Content creators use AI for brainstorming and scripting. AI has become a writing assistant for almost every industry. The challenges of AI writing. But this also brings serious challenges. 1. Authenticity. If AI writes everything, what happens to human voice, personal storytelling, individual style, unique perspective? 2. Accuracy. AI does not know truth. It generates the most likely text, not necessarily correct information. This is why human supervision is essential. 3. Originality. If everyone uses AI, will writing still feel personal, or will everything start to sound similar? The future of writing. Now, imagine the future. A world where anyone can become a writer. Not because they mastered grammar, but because they can express ideas. You think, AI writes. You refine. AI structures. You create. Stories, articles, novels, and scripts become collaborative works between human intention and machine generation. But this raises a deeper question. If AI can write like humans, what does it mean to be a writer in the future? Is a writer someone who types words, or someone who creates ideas, or both? Conclusion. AI writing is not just a technological tool. It is a shift in how language itself is created. We are entering a new era where writing is no longer limited to human effort alone, but expanded by machine intelligence. And perhaps the most important truth is this: AI does not replace human creativity. It amplifies it. It accelerates it. And it challenges us to rethink what creativity truly means. Because in the end, writing is no longer just about words. It is about ideas. And ideas are now shared between humans and machines.